The experts that best communicate their culture and their vision to their potential clients are those entrepreneurs that we remember. I'm Shelby Jo Long with the Expertise Podcast, and here we explore the stories of those entrepreneurs to inspire you to think about how you can monetize your expertise. Hello, everyone, and welcome to an episode of the Expertise Podcast, where I have the opportunity to ask an expert on how they have created a business from their expertise to inspire you as audience members to think about how to frame your expertise in a different way and to have a product and to reach a larger audience. And today I continue the series where I have the opportunity to talk to all of the members of the Strategic Advisor Board, which I am a part of the Strategic Advisor Board, and Kara and I are part of the Strategic Advisor Board together. We are colleagues on there, and it's very exciting to work with her on the Strategic Advisor Board. And I'm excited to learn more about her business coaching practice and where she started. I'm excited to dig into her brand. There's a lot of synergy between what she does and what I do. We have a lot of fun working together, so I'm excited to learn more about her. So, Kara, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Shelby. So happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So happy to have you. Kara James, your last name, didn't say that earlier. So, Kara, can you tell us a little bit about just give us a brief introduction to your business, and then we'll get into the background and the story behind it?
Sure. So I'm a business coach and strategist. And what I mainly focus on is helping other coaches, consultants, service providers find their USP, their unique selling proposition.
Sure.
So, I think it's overlooked. Well, there is mention of it, but it's really the importance of it is overlooked, and how you write your copy to it and how you speak to your audience is how you get your clients. So.
Absolutely. It's key to your brand, right? And it's key to your brand. It's key to who you are. And it's how I talk about this in a very similar way. Again, we work in the branding space. So in a very similar way, we talk to people about how to differentiate themselves from their competition and how to set themselves apart from their competition. And I think that sounds very similar to what you do. Is that right?
That is right. There is a little bit added to that. I also, which we'll talk about, but there's life coaching involved and the mindset piece and helping others as far as focusing, the Pomodoro technique and taking time to actually work on your business rather than cricketing around. And now I'm getting into accountability too with my new program. But so that's another piece of it is the life coaching piece. So
not something that I'm very familiar with, but I'm excited to hear about that. So it sounds like you have kind of an umbrella over all sorts of business coaching experiences or opportunities. Is that right?
That is right. I don't know if I should say that or not, but I have said this to my clients that I know a little about a lot.
Right.
So, I don't know if that's great or not, but I do feel like I can get myself into a little bit of everything. I really had my nose to the grindstone and learned a ton about a lot of different things. So, yeah. Well, my main specialty is the USP. So
the USP. Yeah. Well, and it's so, just working with clients, and particularly in this era where everybody's online and digging into their unique selling proposition, that's something that business owners have to have clear in their messaging and in their online presence. And then it sounds like you have all these different pieces to go along with that.
Right. So, and creating the offers around that, the different tiered offers around that. So, which is.
We've talked a lot about that before. So can you talk a little bit about that and what that looks like?
Sure. So the creating offers. So it depends on where you're at or what you want to do. But if you want to build your email list, you can build an SLO, which is a self-liquidating offer, a low ticket, no brainer to bring in your tribe.
Yeah.
Right now I'm working on a core program boot camp. So that way you can go either way. You can kind of dumb down into, for lack of better words, into an SLO or a low ticket if you want to build your list, or you can take that and create high ticket and the white glove experience, hands-on, that type of thing. So it gives them something to build upon, right? And like I said, you can go either way. If you want hands off or you want, done for you, you could go really high ticket. If you want to do it yourself, it can be in that, 997 range. So
right. Yeah, it's always good to have different offers. I coach that with clients all the time. You've got to have some different offers and
your value ladder.
Because it's hard to create. I mean, you don't have one solution that fits everybody, but if you have multiple things that you can look at, and it sounds like you provide so many different opportunities for that. That's a great resource for a client to have. Can you talk about can you tell me how this came about? Like, it doesn't just appear overnight.
It doesn't.
I want to do all these things for all these small businesses. How did this come about?
Okay, so are we going to start from the beginning real quick? I can do fast forward. Okay.
I think a good broad overview is great. So
yeah. So I was in the medical imaging field. Okay.
Wow.
I had a colon cancer scare. So this was 4 years ago. 3 years ago was the whole thing. I almost died. I was laid up, long story, blah, 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 with all that. It was pretty traumatic with the surgery and internal bleeding and all. Okay. Right. So that's that. So I ended up being completely laid up, which I had never experienced anything like that in my life because I've been on the go forever. You know what I mean? I have 3 kids and it was just,
Sure.
So that's when I was like, you know what? I've had this life coaching certification that's been sitting there for, I don't even know how long, Shelby, like probably over a year, right? So like, well, I completely went off. I haven't watched TV in 3 years. That was the end. Everything turned around then. I know it sounds so cliche, but what I did was got my certification in that. That was about a 6-week program. And it wasn't, I want to say it was a very respectable program. I'm not going to knock some of those out there, but this was really, it was legit. Okay.
Sure. There's
I don't know how to say that. You know what I mean? Because I've seen them now like, oh, look, a $25 certificate, anyway. So, okay. So, while I was getting the tail end of it, I had looked for a business coach. Like, I really want to build this up. And what am I going to do? I didn't know anything about like niching or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So got into that with her and went into social anxiety. I'm telling you, this is all over the place, right? Created a program for that, created a group for that, built it quick. It was not my thing. It was literally draining me. It was not my personality. I'm a very, very positive, upbeat person. And getting into those groups and those type of clients and just knowing that they really wanted to stay where they were. And I don't want to gauge the whole group. Okay. But it was not my thing.
So right. It wasn't a fit. Sure.
No, not my tribe. So with my business coach, this is what I love. These are the people, we're in the group coaching. These are the people that I'm, mixing and mingling with, and we're talking, we're helping each other. I can do this. I can learn, so I went piece by piece, literally, like I said, put my nose to the grindstone, my family, my husband. I mean, there was a lot. I was out. I was completely into this 100%, like waking up early, staying up late. Like I said, I gave up everything. My girls' night, things like that were done. I just was so into it. And I can't even tell you how many courses I've taken. I don't know if that's good or bad either. Became course junkie. But
it happens. It's okay.
You figure out where you're going with it. Like, I need to know that. Oh no, they want to know this. I need to help them with that. I need to know this too. Right? Okay. So where I ended up going, niching down myself with creating offers, I went to Niagara Falls. I don't know if you know Joel Irway, went to a 3-day workshop with him, and it was just a small group, and it was all about hands-on creating offers that convert, irresistible offers. I mean, it was amazing. So like, this is so perfect because this is what I needed. Do you know what, when I was with that, my business coach was kind of like, well, what do you want to do? You know, who needs help? And it was just hurry up because my program's going to run out. And I had spent an arm and a leg for it. And anyway, so it really, really snowballed from then. That was in 2019. I then, oh my gosh, like I'm saying, there's so many. I've gone to California. I went to there. I you know, like it was just full speed ahead with the business coaching. Well, oh, I know. I became certified in Keap and Infusionsoft for automation.
Yeah.
Because I had a VA at the time who was going to set up my emails and told me I was all set. And I went out of the country and I didn't have service. And when I came back to service, all of my emails were in it was a disaster.
Oh, yeah.
Very embarrassing. So that's when I said, I need to learn this myself. So I got certified in that. That wasn't easy. That wasn't my thing either. I mean, I can help with that. Now I know I can help you with an email campaign and a little automation, that type of thing. And I did create an SLO around automation and hiring a VA. And it was called Automate, Systemize, and Delegate with business systems, and just trying to free up your time kind of thing. And
sure,
focus, flow, and grow. I have that too, where it's more towards focusing and time, more about time management. Anyway, so I'm off on a tangent here. So that's really my background.
A few really interesting things that stick out to me about your background. First of all, the experience from your trauma. I mean, I think that's, I so commend you for just like shifting your life and completely altering what you're doing, and then understanding that, gosh, I need to be doing something, but I don't really know what I want to do. And I think that's so commendable to be able to do that. And what an amazing growth experience that you've been through, and how incredibly important it is to tell that story so other people can understand that they can do that too. I think it's very admirable. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
And I think that's a really significant part of your brand too, because and you tried this one program and it wasn't a fit, and then you tried these other things and that wasn't a fit too. But the amount of experience and background that you have, and those are all of the things that every small business owner goes through. And the fact that you've been through them and experienced them, you can speak to that as an authority and help people navigate those problems, which is where your multitude of courses come from and multitude of interactions come from. Yeah, I think that's a really, really unique part of your brand, because you do have the unique selling proposition piece and the offer piece that really excites you, but then there's all the other pieces that go along with it too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that's very,
well, thank
very
you.
unique.
Yeah, I didn't even get to my main thing. I found the Launch Gorgeous Girls and did a 6-month certification program, which was brutal. No, it was great. We're triple threat marketers. So it was copywriting, offer creation, and funnel building. So I've got that to offer as well. But like I said,
that's another offer you have.
I don't love all that stuff. I'm the offer creation and the USP. Okay, I'm in. But well, the copywriting I like, but it's a little more the way they teach us in coaching. It's very right as you speak. Talk to your tribe the way they want to be talked to.
Right.
So might not, but everybody's. Maybe not everybody's liking, but so
doesn't need to be with everybody, right? You've got to get certain clients. But it is so many important things for just business owners to think of, is that, like, what am I offering? How am I talking about what it is that I offer, and how can that draw in the right clients? It's that message to market connection. We just talked about this in my mastermind yesterday, that if you don't think about that and like where your potential clients are or where your current clients are, then you're just not going to make that connection. And as a coach, that's something we consistently have to think of.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. Are they problem aware or solution aware? Or, you know what I mean? You didn't need to know where they're at before you can even write or talk to them. So, yeah.
So, Kara, before we also, it's such an interesting to know your background, to also know that like all of the experience and different experiences that you have, it just fits into what we do in the strategic advisor board. Look at problems and look at issues from multiple perspectives and pull pieces together and strategies together for businesses. And I think all of that just is a perfect fit.
Exactly. Fit like a glove. Like, I'm right where I need to be. I just feel like my life has kind of gone like this, and I settled into this, and I'm super excited about it.
Yeah.
Happy to be with you all. And
But before we talk about the strategic advisor board, I just want to ask what type of clients do you typically work with in your coaching business?
Yeah, sure. So it's anywhere from, life coaches really are my ideal to get them at the startup, because I do know quite a bit about startup. That's my lead magnet. It's a 29-page guide to starting up your business. So they love that. It's really all the nuts and bolts. So that's fun for me. That's just super easy. You're not really digging deep, where you're digging deep with them with the USPs. But anyway, so life coaches, health coaches, I say consultants, service providers, like a healer, sleep coach, and just helping them, especially, the market it's saturated and
absolutely,
and becoming even more so. And I know a lot of people like to say that, like, oh no, there's plenty for everybody, and there is plenty for everybody. And that's why with my group too, I have a group that has grown tremendously, and I let in all business coaches. I don't care, there's plenty for everybody, but you need to stand out.
Absolutely. I think about the life coaching and the business coaching. Business coaching is pretty saturated now too. And maybe it's just saturated because that's all the information we get from, where.
Exactly. Yeah. That's right. All day long. Right. Yeah.
All day long. But there are a lot of small businesses out there, and there are a lot of new businesses out there that need that guidance to be able to, so they do have success in front of them, not like complete challenges all the time in front of them. So, so particularly with startups and people that have newer ideas about businesses they want to put together in life coaching, I think that's a great niche to be able to fill, because there's a lot of people that want to do that, but don't really know the path to do it. So
exactly. Oh, exactly. And I know what that's all about firsthand.
Yeah.
Eventually my vision is to, I call it coach coupling. I would love to couple up coaches. I just need to figure out how to do that. I've kind of run it by a few people, and got a little backlash, and I'm busy right now creating the boot camp. I have an 8-week boot camp coming up, but there are so many. So let's combine two that can work together. And they can split the cost, and they can, you know what I mean? You put a mindset coach with a weight loss coach or that type of thing. And because
like a business coach or the marketing coach or a book coach.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And this boot camp that I'm setting up, I have 7. I'm going to actually talk to a YouTube expert today. And those are my bonuses for these guys. When they come in, the members are going to get, so I'm going to teach them how to launch organically. But if you want a Facebook ad specialist, Instagram specialist, YouTube, LinkedIn, there's a visibility coach that's in. So what they're doing is just piping in and giving so I just want it to be so complete for my members that they're referring and saying, this is an amazing program,
That's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah.
I love all of those pieces. I think that's a great transition into the work with the strategic advisor board too.
Exactly. I was going to say it's very, very similar to what we're doing in community, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Building my community and my collaboration with other coaches or collaborating with other coaches, and then also my community that are potential, clients in the Facebook group. And so it really is all about community. So
very
definitely on the right track with SAB. Yeah,
there's a lot of synergy. And for those that, just to give background to the strategic advisor board, there's 10 of us advisors on the board, and from a diverse background, diverse perspectives and experiences, lots of experience. We're all CEOs. We all have our own businesses, but we come to it from different backgrounds. And I think that is the unique selling proposition of the Strategic Advisor Board. And we make decisions together. We don't make them isolated. And I think that's a really unique selling proposition for the Strategic Advisor Board. But Kara, can you talk about how, I mean, I think that everything you've talked about fits almost just exactly into the Strategic Advisor Board. But tell me more about how that all fits together and how you feel about things. You and I have known each other for a few months, and we've had some decisions together, but I want to know more about that.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. No, so like I said, I feel like I found my perfect home with all of you. And as we were saying, how we all get along, but the diversity is crazy and wonderful for our clients because they're getting every single piece. I mean, really, there's nothing that's missing for any business when they come to us. So it's really a no-brainer. But as far as me fitting in, we did our personal. So I'm one of the introverts, but it's just, how can I word it? It's just like being home, or we just all, like I said, we can bounce ideas off each other. Maybe there's a little bit of, I don't know about, it all comes together for the client and they're the ones benefiting from it. But yeah, so as far as my piece is, the branding a little bit, more so the digital marketing piece, I would say, copywriting and the funnel build, which, those who I have people to refer to when it gets time consuming, that type of thing. Yeah, no, I feel like what I have, it fits right in as far as the little pieces of the marketing that we need.
Sure. Which, you can have one marketer in the group. I mean, the marketing piece and the messaging piece, the more perspectives you can have in that, the better. And yes. I mean, I feel a very similar way about the whole involvement with SAB, is that there's such a diversity, and yes, we have disagreements, but it's the dialogue. And it's the dialogue that's focused around what's best for the clients. And exactly. and that's exactly what you said. It's like we all come together, not for us. We come together in partnership with the clients. And I think is
they're number one.
Yeah. And I think particularly the way that your own business is put together and how you're starting to think about connecting all these coaches, I think that's a really, really interesting. I mean, it's a perfect match. So
yeah, it is. The community piece too, like I said, and then to help SAB with that in the background and how to go about it. And as we're talking about the social media pieces of it, once we.
Can you talk a little bit about building community? You've done that with a few social media groups. Can you talk about the process of doing that? I think that's something that, I mean, it's building community. It's easy, we don't go to chambers of commerce anymore. How do you build a unique community and a connected community online? I think that's a question that a lot of people are thinking about.
Sure. So with the Facebook group, Facebook's a little bit different than LinkedIn. LinkedIn is pretty much Monday through Friday, more business oriented, where Facebook, it's, ongoing. I'll post on the weekend too. You'll get people coming in and yeah. So there's different ways to go about it, but what you want to do is basically just nurture them, nurture and love them. When they come in and you reach out and how can I help you? It's great for finding out. One of the questions that, I ask when they come in, what are you struggling with? So right there, that's what you start working on. That's how you're building your program. That's who you're talking to. figure out what their problems are and care about them and truly care. There's a lot of free, I maybe shouldn't say that. There's a lot of free advice and things that I do, on the side. Just here's what you need to do. I would do this, I would go there, but they know then they're coming back to you.
Sure. Is there like a social media rule that you use? Like you should be posting so many times a week or at certain times a day? Is there some advice that you give to your clients or how you've done it yourself?
Honestly, I'm going to be totally honest here. And I don't even do what I should be doing all the time. I mean, if I really did what I needed to be doing, sure. So yeah, I mean, you're supposed to be going live and posting twice a day and that type of thing. But I like to be real,
Right.
Yes, consistency is very important. So I'm going to kind of go against what the norm is, but no, I'm not super consistent. But what I do, I think the people that are there know I care.
Right.
And it's not just a fake post or, not that they're fake,
Right.
but
it's that authenticity that comes through.
So, yeah. But yeah, no, I matter of fact, I'm involved in a lot of groups myself. And one of the things are giveaways. So that's a great way to build your list, which I'm going to look into once I get this out of my boot camp launched. But there's not enough time today. But yeah, so that's a huge way to build it. Well, the name of it. Let me just say the main thing is naming it properly is how you get people. You have to use your keywords.
It's so true.
I mean, people don't realize that, and they'll name it something cute. They'll name it after their first name or whatever. Nobody's going to find you, Right. So that's key number one.
I think that's very true. Like, and your tagline should be indicating what you do. So that's a key thing. Yeah. Well, Kara, this was a great conversation. It was so nice to learn more about you. I was wondering if you, just to kind of wrap things up, if you had some advice or you had some, you have taken so many amazing steps out of your comfort zone. What would you say to that entrepreneur that is thinking about taking their business in a different level or a different position, or someone that might be thinking about starting a business? Could you give them advice about how to transform their expertise into a product?
Well, I would say first and foremost is be authentic. Be yourself. You can only fake it for so long. Okay. You want if you have repelled people off the way you act, you don't need them anyway. Right. So, and I'm a goofball and okay, great. Well, you know what? Then those people want to be in my life. I've been this way forever. So that's what you want to do. Be completely authentic for starters. And then treat every client as if they're your only client. Right? You give them that, they say white glove experience, but just that you bend over backwards for them. You make sure that everything is front and center and working for them. And, the plan is in place for them. And it's a lot easier to sell to the client you already have than it is to acquire a new client. So
absolutely,
selling or trying to sell to a cold lead, you're much better off selling to the ones you already have that know, like, and trust you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Community is key.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly.
Key. Come into my community. I will take care of you.
Karen, what's the name of your program again?
So the program coming up is the core program boot camp. That'll be, we're working on the slides now. I need to record, and I'm just, like I said, meeting with a couple more people to get all the pieces together, the bonuses. But yeah, I'm really excited about that.
It's the Pursue, Grow, Thrive.
So my business is Pursue and Thrive.
Pursue and Thrive. That's
yeah.
Pursue and Thrive.
Yeah. The program coming up is the core program boot camp. So, which will be ongoing. It's 8 weeks, but it's going to be ongoing. So
if our listeners want to find you, it's Kara James at Pursue and Thrive.
Pursueandthrive.com. Yeah. We just
right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Changing up the website. I know that's not a good thing either, but they say, don't, who cares? Just leave it. We're always in the middle of changing images and things. So anyway, yeah.
It's all business growth. So thank you so much for coming on today and giving us your story and giving us business owners some advice to help us move forward. I really appreciate that. So listeners, I hope you enjoyed the interview, and to understand that entrepreneurship is a journey, not a destination, and that there are people out there that want to help you succeed. So we'll see you next time. And Kara, thank you again.
Thanks, Shelby.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Expertise Podcast and hope you're inspired to think about how to further monetize the expertise and the processes that you have in your own business. See you next time.